Alright lads, are you ready for even more action from the guy that is here in the bottom left corner, and his name is PWF Tails, who is going to face the one, the awesome and the only who has been able to beat Seo Hyun. He is PWS Bubbas. So we will have two players from the same team fighting against each other, jumping to each other's throats. What do you think, Jack?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Bubbas plays this any differently against his teammate. As you may already have guessed, they probably have played against each other a lot and might have some tricky mind games that we don't even know about.
Yes, and of course, with Heart of the Swarm launch, some of the players are even specifically not participating in tournaments because they are already very good, so they don't need their name up in the internet, and they are just hiding the tactics that they have improvised during the beta period, and they will show them in their full glory at MLG that will take place right after Heart of the Swarm launch.
Definitely really pumped to watch that. I know that the ladder will change as soon as that tournament is done.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
whatever race wins that tournament, all I'm going to be playing against is people
whatever
race.
Tactics will happen. Yeah, that always happens. That's actually a general tendency on the ladder, and you can actually try to blind counter some of the things that have surfaced in recent tournaments, because people will be trying them out, and that's natural. But then,
absolutely.
You know,
I used to watch Day 9 a lot. I still watch Day 9 now, but I used to watch it specifically to know what my opponents would be doing on the ladder. Like, oh, okay, he did the special on, on Root Cats and what he's doing. It's like, okay, look for the Zergs to be doing this in PvC.
Yeah, exactly. That's very much true. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Day 9, and in fact, Day 9 is the reason I have started doing the show in Polish, and then after it has become popular, I have decided to try and go for an English stream, because one day when I was having a very boring afternoon, I watched Day 9 as I used to back in the days, and then he said, you know, if you have an idea, don't ask for permission, just go for it, just go and freaking do it. And I said, alright, in one flash of motivation, I thought, okay, I'm going to become a caster. And here I am 2 years later, it has worked.
That's some of the best advice that I think anyone can give.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
not
so
just about
simple.
casting, but about anything. If you want to do something, just go ahead and start doing it.
It's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's very much like pressing that search match on the ladder button. It's very simple, but sometimes it can be very hard to do.
Yes. I know the feeling. I mean, I have been fighting with ladder anxiety a lot before I got very comfortable with playing ladder, despite the fact that I was losing or winning. I'm a pretty hardcore gamer when it comes to other games. I always complete games on the hardest difficulty level. I can get pretty absurd and, you know, just crazy about a single game, complete it in the hardest way possible. But then when it came to Starcraft 2, the concept of losing so frequently and just sucking at a game and not being able to play for the hardest opponents, just having to slash my way through just a crowd of people that are just slightly better than I am, and I was not able to beat them, that was so frustrating for me personally.
Yeah, absolutely. Starcraft is one of the hardest games that exist, in my opinion, and it can be very discouraging if you go into it with the mindset you're like, oh no, I'm gonna be great at this game.
Yeah,
oh, you're gonna have to do a lot of work. You're gonna have to do a lot of work.
Just winning is not one of the things you do right away when you start playing Starcraft. You know, you need to get your ass whooped multiple times. Well, hundreds of times before you get any good at this game. But then what I really like about Starcraft, it is one of the games that give you a lot of pleasure once you get comfortable with them. And
speaking of pleasure, one of the most pleasure experiences that I have sometimes as a Pro player is building a dark shrine. and sending DTs into my opponent, which seems that that's what Bubbas is doing right now. No proxy pylon or anything like that. He's just sort of sending the 2 Dark Templar across the map as he's saturating this expansion.
He did have a proxy pylon, but that was spotted by our good friend Tails. And, you know, since they are from the same team, the odds are they have been playing each other a ton, because that's what teammates do. And yeah, these 2 Dark Templars have to make their way. Now, one of the tells that these may be Dark Templars is the fact that, you know, there was no Stargate, there was no probe somewhere at the front near that pylon that will be trying to build a proxy Stargate. But then the Dark Templars got into the base, there was no blocking thingy on the ramp, and right now they will be just wreaking havoc. And I think that Tails is going for a full frontal assault right now.
Yep, the DTs have triggered this assault. He's pretty much on a timer at this point. He's not trying to get any sort of detection down in his main. He's just waiting for another scan. But
if I can quickly interrupt, there's a very important decision he has to make. If he uses that one last scan he has in his own base, he will not be able to scan the DT in the Bubbas base. Now, this DT got blocked by a force field. We see this so often today, being blocked by a force field, and this force of PWF Tails is probably going to deal much more damage than it would have if not that force field.
Oh no, they're gonna focus down that portal right away. But it looks like he's gonna survive it. He's gonna survive, and he's still doing lots of damage inside this base.
And yeah, and actually,
one more scan coming in.
Yeah, scan coming in, but actually it was not a very good decision to save that scan for the attack itself. I think that was the thinking process that Tails went through. Okay, if I use the last scan, because I have only energy for one single scan, then he will be able to fend off my push with a single DT. I don't want to use my energy in the base. And he has sacrificed so much. Let's see at the workers lost. It is 12. It's quite a lot, and you know, the lost mining time that isn't showing up in any statistics right here has also been huge, and Tails has lost so much by the fact he didn't want to use up that scan.
Yeah. And he's got 24 workers on the minerals in his main, so he continues to build workers there. Which it looks like he is. He's going to start oversaturating and basically having idle probes, because they won't be doing anything but bouncing around.
Why is he doing that?
It's going to hurt him in the long term.
I think he was trying to go for a third. Yes, he's trying to build one now, but it's kind of obstructed by this giant factory that is here. Now, I like the play of landing a factory here, but what I would love is to produce a single Widow Mine and leave it growth on a potential expansion point.
Oh man, that would be great.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that will emerge somewhere on the way.
Yeah, I think that a lot of these PVTs we've been watching have been very similar. A couple of them with some cheeses that are new, very similar to Wings of Liberty. And I think that the factory in general being used as a scouting unit, I think, is not actually as optimal as it used to be.
We have a huge drop in the mineral line. Not so sure that Bubbas can defend this. He's good at against Terran, but I'm not sure he's good enough to defend this Nexus, and it's going to fall anyway. And the drop will just escape thanks to the new upgraded speed of Medivacs. Very predictive by Bubbas. He used that ability from the Mothership Core on his natural. He needs to be careful not to lose these forges. These forges are extra important right now. +2, +1 upgrades, and even more on the way. And this gets fended off. The Protoss manages to secure the third, but then it wasn't a very good trade for Bubbas. And let's see what sort of position is Tails in right now. How would you sum up his situation?
Well, he's caught back up on the workers. He was behind Bubbas in workers, but now he's ahead, 56 to 50. So his economy is back up and running, but. And thirds are being taken by both players. So, I mean, I think things have evened out despite the blows being cast back and forth. in a pretty good position, but he's going for that
g-
classic Marine Marauder, medevac Viking style.
Yeah.
I feel that incorporating some of these
Another
factory
drop,
units might
and
help.
oh well, if this Nexus gets focused again, that would actually be huge. The army is out of the position, but no, they focus the Dark Shrine instead, and Bubbas is going to lose that. No way of saving it, although he wants to save this Nexus so bad, and he manages to. And by the way, there is still no Blink research on the Stalkers, which would have been stupidly useful right now.
I think stupidly useful is a pretty solid, solid description in that case. He did come down with another attack to the third and killed a lot of units and probes. So the workers killed up to 24 for Tails right now. So he's pushing his way into an advantage here.
He can't make up his mind. He's trying to go one way or another, but this Medivac has 9 hit points, so 1 Stalker hit and it's down. Now we see Tails going for even bigger drops. I'm not really sure how confident he is to go for that with a Medivac that has only 4 hit points, carrying 2 Marauders, but you know, if these Marauders are comfortable with it, then probably Tails is as well. Although if I were one of these guys, I would probably jump out, even though there's a huge planet and probably an atmosphere between that planet and the ground itself. Okay, so we have PW Tails going for a huge drop, and these couple of Stalkers were just not enough. So many Marauders, and again I got the feeling that he's going to lose his Nexus. And will he go for a drop on the third? No, he goes for a drop on the natural. That didn't work out, and the Nexus in the main falls down, and PW Tails will just back away after destroying the forge. Oh, so huge +2 upgrade has been lost, and boom, whoosh, and the Medivacs fly away towards the rising sun. No, they drop again on the natural, and with this Medivac speed boost, it's so annoying to defend against drops.
Yeah, at this point, Tails is almost doubling his opponent in worker count. So this is,
they are going to
be
continue the aggression on the third base. I imagine that Bubbas is pretty frustrated at this point in time.
I would certainly be frustrated myself. I've been in this position many a time with the multi-pronged Jurass.
And
the
back
mobility.
To the natural.
Oh
no, there are High Templars with feedbacks, but after healing for so long, these poor Medivacs don't have enough energy to be destroyed, as silly as that sounds. And yeah, again, back to the third. Woohoo! We travel around the world and seen it all, guys. Oof.
And at this point in time, looks like Tails is just gearing up for the finishing blow.
Yeah, see this huge army? He has been able to kill off most of his opponent, if you can say that, with only a couple of Medivacs worth of units, and you know, backstage he has a huge army waiting to march out. They are well seated, they have eaten well recently, a lot of beef. Most likely, and right now they are just preparing themselves to surround the Protoss's army, it seems.
Yeah, and they're just gonna miss each other, it looks like.
And did Bubbas take all of his probes with him? Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's given up at this point. He's like, base racer, it's over.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch to the next gear. Let's see how fast can you do this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, Tails is tearing apart the main, and he's losing all of his structures. The force of Bubbas is going to have to win or die for the entire Protoss race.
There are only 4 High Templars, but there are lots of ghosts, so this will be pretty intense.
It's gonna be very difficult for Bubbas to pull something out here, but he's going for it. He's making a try.
No, not a very good storm. Nice try though. These ghosts waiting, but then we have GG, well played by Bubbas.
There it is.
Yeah, and the game goes for Tails. Very well played. Yeah. So very exhausting to cast that game. My God, so many things happening at once.
It's really nice to see the Medivac speed boost creating more exciting play in Heart of the Swarm. I'm really glad for that particular change. It was really great to have that speed boost in there.
It seems we have the second semi-final. So instead of casting the rest of this, I think we'll be going to cast that, because if we don't, then we'll be holding up the tournament, which wouldn't be good for our karma. Okay, so we'll be going to cast the first semi-final. I believe the games between Bubbas and Tails will be awesome, but one of them will carry out the awesomeness to the semi-finals. The second set will be watching tonight, so don't be afraid. We'll have even more of that action, sweet action, from one of these in the semi-final. So we'll be back with you after a short commercial break, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Giga TV.